Hello. So I was just wanting to get some thoughts out. I was just thinking because I've been trying to understand the Most High better as far as who was the Most High before He created what we know as the heaven and the earth. So just going to Him and Him revealing to me the reality of His existence. And He took me through steps, and whoo, it was scary, and because you don't want to be wrong, but it ultimately led me back to Him. But I had to question and really step outside of what I believe and what, everything I've researched, and trust His Spirit to just reveal to me, open-minded, totally open-minded to whatever it was. And I explored Him being in existence before He was in the image of a man, being spirit, but still having an image. Before that, He was an energy of consciousness that had power to create and make things. And so when He was showing me His Spirit, it was like describing like the energy you feel like if you're in meditation, or you're just alone in silence, and say like if you're outside or something and the trees will blow at the perfect time, or the sun will shine brighter at the perfect time, or you'll see the moon shining bright on you, or if you go to the beach and the waves is react in a certain way. Just nature itself, that is the Most High. That's God. We call it Mother Nature, but it's really the Most High. That's His Spirit, even before He had an image of man or male. Because you have people that ask, who created God? Who created the man that's sitting on the throne? Who created him? Where he come from? Because when you think man got to come from somewhere, right? Which is true. And I was asking him, like, what I was asking about his, beginning, basically, like, and trying not to be afraid to ask, because, He loves me, and if I'm seeking answers that some have sought, but because they didn't get the answer, they just stopped believing. And so that's one of the main things I've been seeing lately is who created that man in heaven and things. Where did he come from? Or I hear people saying that God is a woman and things like that. But before He gave Himself the image of a man, He was just a consciousness that was energy and power that could create. So He was creating the universe. Everything in what we call space, in different galaxies and things, like He was out there creating all of that, and we don't even know the depth of it all. Like, you see how Earth is, how He basically decorated Earth, imagine with the other planets and even different dimensions and realms and things he has been a part of. And it's just been timeless. I say that because he's even in a different realm, spiritual realm. So if that one exists, guess what? We can't be not so sure to think that there's others, other realms. You have the realm of even Hades, so. But he showed me that basically he was like how our mind is. That can't even imagine how much more knowing and how his mind is. And so, yes, he gave himself the form of a male, even in spirit, and a kingdom somewhere in the universe. He has a kingdom that, where his messengers and the children of heaven dwell. Well, actually, that's a whole nother world out there, and different worlds out there, but all connected to him. But he decided to make himself male because of us humans. He wanted to be a part of his creation here on earth. Basically, he wanted to be a part of it. And so he started off like just a consciousness that was energy that could create and have power. And so you can't really say like where does energy come from, if it's like or a consciousness or something, it just is, and the mind that created our mind, like. But yeah, he wanted to be a part of his creation on earth. And so, yes, he created Adam and Eve, and he set up order to be a part. And so, yes, he still can, he can, because of his power, he made himself even human to, number one, he had things he had to do in the earth, and he's always come to earth in his physical form, shall I say, physical form. I'm not gonna say human because he wasn't born from man and woman, so his physical form. And he came and he met with Abraham, and so when he came as the Messiah, the king that the prophet spoke of, he actually wanted to walk in the shoes of his creation almost, because him letting them kill him, he got to experience that which his creation does. And him going to Hades and experiencing that whole thing down there, he did that. And yes, he went down there and he saw what he saw, and he ended up freeing the saints that were in Abraham's bosom, and he freed them to let them be in the universe somewhere that we call heaven, but they're out there somewhere free. He probably went down there and was like, he just didn't want them to be just down there. I mean, even though, how the Bible explains it, the one side is paradise, the other side hell. He knows what he's created out there in the universe where the souls can go. And so he must have wanted them out there, so he freed them. But He's totally aware. I can't be one of those people that believe in the Creator not having any involvement with his people, or having no I don't know. I can't see him like that, because everything's so detailed in all his creation. Everything's so detailed that it had to take a high intelligence to create it all, and come up with it all. And I was just thinking, like, one that don't even believe in God, or one that don't believe that in the God of the Bible, the kind of power the God of the Bible has. Like, when you're out and about, or your family is out and about, and and something may pop up in your heart that brings worry, like maybe they're late or something like that. Like, you just worry yourself, because you don't even believe in nobody to protect them, or reassure yourself that they're okay. Like me, I would, if I start to worry, then I would just remember his promise. And I would just remember, okay, if I'm obedient to his law, statutes, and commandments, and I'm doing my part, then he will look out for my family, if I trust in him to do that and not worry about it. And others, if they don't even believe in a God, I can't even imagine the things that will go through your head if a possibility of something happened. Like, how do you assure yourself everything's okay? How do you assure yourself that your people are, not hurt, or or how do you, whenever you need somebody's in a situation where they might be dying or sick or something, for you to not be able to call on the Most High, believe the Hebrew records of a powerful God that can heal and things, and just trust and come to him. One may say they've done that and nothing happened, and that's probably because of your lifestyle or their lifestyle. It has to be some kind of order there as far as keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. Somebody got to be doing right. And because of his favor on you, he will look out for them. Somebody got to be doing right. Both of y'all cannot be believing in God, and then when you need him, try to call on him, or both of y'all, just living however you want to live, and then when you need him, try to call on him and think that you're gonna see a miracle, because you gotta put in the work leading up to then. And one would say, oh, well, the God you believe in the Bible don't have no power. Just ask something of him and watch him not do it. Well, guess what? He know my situation. He know if I'm just testing him because you are saying so, or if it's a real situation. And guess what? He have not let me down. That's why I believe in God, not because you can't come and tell me, oh, he's not real, he don't answer prayers because he doesn't have any power. And it's like, I believe in God because I have seen his power. I have seen miracles. I've called on him and I've been delivered. So you can't tell somebody that have experienced his power and know that it's true because of our own situations. Like, you can never convince somebody that have experienced it just because you have not. If someone believes in God, it's a reason. Most of the time, nobody's just going to believe if they haven't seen his power. So, but yeah, he let me see So now somebody says, well, who created the man? Who created him and things? And it's like, well, he created himself. That's the answer. He created himself because he was just, when you think of Mother Nature and the energy and, you know, the trees and the sun and just all of nature, that's him. He's orchestrating everything, all of that. He grew it all. He's created the universe. Just energy, conscious energy that have power. That's what he was. Like when you close your eyes and you know it's just your soul. Yeah, he let me see this too. Like even like us, like when we're born, we have this, you know, our image, and you know we have our spirit. So when you die, your spirit takes on it keeps that energy of what you look like. Okay, so your the breath that he gave us now has an image because of being in the body for so long. It took on that energy. So that's why people see spirits and see people when they die, because their soul took on that image. And that's what his did when he created himself to be just like an image more than a conscious. Like he became an image. But we had to be born into it, but he had already existed. So he created himself to be like a spirit, an image that was spirit. And that's what we become when we die, is that spirit image that we were in our human form. He didn't need to be human to do it for himself, but that's what we became. And that's only because of what Adam and Eve, when they sinned, because we were supposed to, you know, live forever, you know, but because of them sinning, you know, death came. And so he still figured out a way for us to live. And basically it's like him, a spirit image. So yeah, who created the man in heaven? He created himself. He created himself to be a spirit image from a source of energy, a knowledgeable consciousness that had power to create. And that's what he had been doing before he came and created heaven, which is the firmament, which is separate from the universe, the sky basically, and then the earth, which is the land, because the land was called earth. But when he came this way and he created down here, but before that he was out there creating the rest of the universe. And there's no telling, like, everything, he just existed. And he wanted to, when he created Adam and Eve, you know, because it tells you in Genesis that the spirit of Yahweh moved. That's what it was. It was just like, but when he saw, you know, his creation, Adam and Eve, it's like he wanted to be a part of it. And so He basically, made himself, you know, he set up shop to deal with Earth, basically, the throne and everything, and the messengers to communicate back and forth. It all came together. But before that, he wasn't a man or a woman. And I think that's what I want to make clear. He wasn't a man or a woman. He was just a consciousness. A consciousness that have power to create and give life. So yeah.